find this message found you. Is karma real or is it the frequency? You have to ask those questions. Have you ever been in a situation where you've done everything right? You kept your peace, you kept your composure, but on the other side, you've seen the effects happen to the other party, etc., right? I believe it's a combination of both. Karma is very subjective, right? You don't have to believe that just because someone does you wrong or do you wrong, there's going to be an effect or consequence is going to follow that person. No. I do believe that energy comes around. Whatever name you put on it, it's essential. It's real because the ripples come back, right? There's a causation to everything, you know? And whether you believe that or not, it's up to you. But energy does come back. When you put it out, it comes back. When you breathe air, the trees receive that carbon dioxide, right? It pushes out oxygen back to us. There's always a give and flow. There's always a flow to everything. So whether you believe it's real or not, it's up to you. But the flow of life is real. The flow of life is essential. The flow of life is what keeps everything moving. It keeps the wind and air breathing, flowing. It keeps everything in sync. So the reason why I bring that up is because when you do things right, when you keep your peace and your composure and you stand your ground and you make sure that what you do is pure in energy, nothing can harm you. Just because someone says something bad to you, someone physically hits you, whatever the case may be, nothing can really harm you, right? It's all a state of mind. It's all heaven on earth, right? I truly believe you could reach that state of mind while you're still living. You don't have to pass away and leave this realm, leave this matrix to achieve that. Real heaven is obtained while you're still living because we have an order here. We have a sequence here where, and as humans, having a body, I wouldn't say we're at the top of the food chain, but I do believe that you have a duty to erase your karma, to erase a lot of these things that are bringing you down because it's essential, right? You have the opportunity to clear a lot of that energy around, right? The energy, the frequency that we talk about on this channel is real. You know, whether it comes around, it will come back around. So whatever energy you put out, you have to make sure it's in motion. It's pure. Because if you put out the wrong energy, it will come back to you, right? I have many times in my life where the people that did me wrong, the bad actors, they get their karma, they get their frequency, the energy comes back around because I always held my ground. It's always been pure, you know, and I'm sure you guys experience things like that where you do something and sooner than later, something happens to the other party, right? Karma, frequency, whatever name you want to call it, it's real, right? Like all these examples I gave you, it's real because there is a causation to things. There is an order to things, right? And if you don't believe that, that's fine. But just like anything, man, if you, whatever you do in this matrix, in this realm, will return back to you. You plant a seed in the ground, it will grow. Whatever you do, it will come back. And, you know, like I say in my previous videos and everything else, I'm telling you from real experience. I'm dealing with this right now, where there's situations in my life you can see that when you hold your peace and you keep the frequency clean, you have nothing to worry about. And I'm not saying this in a way where, hey, you do what's right, something bad is gonna happen to that person all the time. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that when you keep your energy clean, keep your peace, keep your composure, the energy that is sent to you will be returned back to those actors, right? And that's the whole genesis of the story and this video today, is that you don't need to give that karma back. You need to just chill. Take a deep breath and just release it. Because if you don't, you're gonna rise down to that frequency. You're gonna mess up all the work that you obtained to get to that point, right? So this is what I'm just trying to, get you guys to realize and see. And I'm sure you guys see eye to eye when I talk about these things. The frequency is real. There's gonna be people in your life that will try you, that will try to undermine you, that will try to cause harm to you. And the stronger your frequency, is like a rift compared to a tsunami. When that tsunami comes and that rift matches it, that rift is just gonna disappear. It's gonna just dissipate. And that's the type of analogy when it comes to having a strong frequency and a strong energy. Because when you fine-tune your energy and you fine-tune your realm and your palace, your surroundings, when a weaker energy comes to you, it can't do anything to you, right? When small energies match, sure, there's gonna be a clash. But remember, it always takes two to fight. And sooner or later, that energy will be shot back to those people, to that person in due time. And sure, you still gotta have compassion. I'm not saying become an evil person and be like, hey, the frequency is gonna always just get this person. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this because you don't have to react. Reaction, by not reacting, is your most important power. Because once you react to whatever is happening to you, that's when you make it real. That's how the Matrix works, y'all. You have to be in a Zen zone, like my friend always said. Be in a Zen zone. And he's not here with us right now, I know you're hearing. But you gotta keep a neutral energy when it comes to everything. You gotta try to. You don't wanna be too high, you don't wanna be too low. You wanna be right in the middle. You don't wanna be too happy when good news come in. You don't wanna be too sad when bad news come in. You wanna be right there in the middle so you can really evaluate what's happening around you. And just like when you overreact, nothing good comes from that. Because a lot of times you make it worse. Right? And a lot of times it's not as bad as you think. But by overreacting, you make it real. You make it more worse than what it really is. And that's what our minds do to our vision, our reality, right? You have to keep calm, neutral, and good things will come when you keep it that way. So if you're experiencing something like this, know that could always be worse. There's someone, you don't think your situation might be good, but there's someone across the world in a worse situation than you. And you have to be mindful, not just your situation, you have to be mindful of the whole equation, right? Sometimes we get stuck just focusing on just us, and I get that, really that's all that's really important, sure. But you have to take things into perspective, and you have to see things from another person's point of view too. You gotta be considerate. consideration is another strong spiritual weapon to have, because if you're just seeing things just from one lens, you're not gonna make that much of a big impact, right? You have to have multiple lenses you're seeing it from. You have to see it from outside the dome. You have to see it from inside the dome. You have to see it from outside the matrix, inside the matrix. You know, we're not humans experiencing a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings experiencing a human experience, right? So don't think that you're capped at this level. When you see the movie Matrix, it's very real. It's not a movie, it's a documentary, right? And the soul, us, the real part of you, is what's translated, is what's like, our souls are the thing that are driving this whole thing, this whole illusion, right? You have to remember that this is an illusion. This is not real life per se. This is just a really high definition virtual reality game we're playing called life. So don't take it too seriously. Know that one day you're not going to be here. Hopefully, if you could leave and get to where you need to go. But if you really believe that this is it, you have a long ways to go, because this is not it. Truthfully, there's more to this game than just where we're at. There's a lot of other games out there that we could play or not play. Well, that's for another video. Stay neutral, y'all. Stay grounded. Don't buy into the hype. Don't FOMO. Don't FOMO into this thing called life, because you want to take it seriously, of course. Live a great life, do the best you can, and learn as much as you can. But don't think that this is it. And the karma and the frequency, that energy that makes our heart beat, right? We can move our bodies, but what makes your heart beat? Who's making that happen? Yeah, you could say the body, but what makes things? There's always a causation to things. You gotta ask yourself those questions, because if you don't, you're gonna be stuck looking through life through one small little frame, and there's billions of different frames to look at. Okay? So please take heed, y'all. These videos are coming weekly. It's just another transmission, another spiritual tool that could be very useful if you're dealing with something like this. So let those people be. Do things the right way, and don't overreact, okay? The vaults are coming. The vaults are opening and have been open. So if you guys like these videos, please keep tuning in, subscribe, like it, all that crazy stuff, because it does help me. It helps this channel progress and reach more people, and that's my goal here. I want to help people get to the level they need to get to, wherever that is. Okay, so infinite love, and I'll see you guys in the next one.